Ex-defense minister, your leaders are lying to you all about UFOs. The man in the know, Paul Hellyer, who previously served in the 1960s Canadian government, is leading a touring seminar calling on all governments across the world to release every single bit of UFO data that they have on record, Canadian news network CTV has recently reported. Mr. Hellyer, who is now 91 years old, has already recently addressed a crowd of over 500 people in Calgary as part of the Disclosure Canada tour, which he has helped set up to raise awareness about our alien visitors. The brave Canadian ex-civil servant first came out as a UFO believer 10 years ago, aged when he was 81 years old. Paul is a great determined man, and he is not senile no matter what the vile, disgusting media make up about him. He is so very committed to this truth-seeking cause. Paul believes, has famously stated, that the UFOs are as common in our skies as airplanes, and aliens may already live among us on Earth. Paul very rightly so launched a vicious attack on the mainstream media for ignoring his beliefs and thoughts on aliens and UFOs. Paul's demands came following a series of recent reported sightings worldwide. These include a glowing disc UFO apparently filmed by a number of people from differing angles over Tijuana in Mexico earlier this month, April 2015. Richard Emblem, editor of the City paper, an English-speaking title in Colombian capital Bogotá, published on its website blurry images of a shape-changing figure of a UFO he snapped pictures of from his balcony there. Clear UFOs are being seen all over the world, building up an even stronger case for people like Paul Hellyer. Yet another glowing UFO was filmed by a large number of people in Bakersfield, California, this month and posted on Facebook and to local news channels in April 2015. Reports also of mysterious blue lights over the same area made the news headlines back in February and March 2015. Back in late March, the local residents in the southern Russian city of Stavropol caught on camera a noiseless, blinding light sweep across the night sky at 9:30 p.m. before disappearing. Some residents even stated that there was a strange groaning noise at the same time of the odd bright light in the sky. One of Russia's leading newspapers, the Moscow Times, speculated that it was either connected to the Northern Lights, military action, a solar eclipse, a cloud measuring device, getting silly now, or aliens and ... Much of the media won't touch it. So you just have to keep working away and hope that someday you get a critical mass, and they will say, in one way or another, Mr. President or Mr. Prime Minister, we want the truth and we want it now because it affects our lives. According to Mr. Hellyer, there are at least 80 different species of extraterrestrials, but skeptics have labeled him deluded and crazy and a hate campaign led by the puppets on a string media. Speaking to Russian television last year, Paul said some of them look just like us and they could walk down the street and you wouldn't know if you walked past one. Mr. Hellyer has claimed that most aliens are harmless but a handful have ulterior motives and yet to be revealed. Mr. Hellyer is part of an increasing number of ex-officials, including former NASA employees, military officers, or scientists, coming forward to claim to have seen UFOs which were covered up by government sand. And UP salutes these brave men. UFOP summary. Paul Hellyer has put his whole reputation at risk after coming out with his knowledge on aliens about 10 years ago. Paul has been ridiculed continuously by the press and the governments of this world, making him out to be some crazy person. For a man to hold such a senior rank in the Canadian government is not going to want to make a fool of himself with this talk of aliens and UFO''s and many others out there feel that Paul is a brave man for airing his thoughts and knowledge in public. Clearly Paul is a determined man to get the truth out, and he should never be disrespected for that. And hopefully soon Paul will have the last laugh and, like the rest of us, get the chance to turn around and say "told you so."